Hey everyone, welcome back for the rest of my tips on how to get a guy to like you. If you missed the first video, the link is in the description box below. Be sure to check it out and then come back here to finish it off. Before, I talked about eye contact, self-esteem, compatibility, keeping a level head, and creating fun experiences. My next tip if you want a guy to like you is to avoid drama. Getting into arguments over little things, blaming him for things, gossiping, any actions that create drama are going to suck the life right out of your potential relationship. Guys who have high self-esteem are only going to tolerate dramatic behavior for so long before they move on. Now, I know it can be easy to get caught up in drama. Humans are emotional and irrational creatures, so sometimes we can't help ourselves. But the better you're able to stay calm and level-headed, the easier it'll be to get through rough patches or handle times of conflict. For example, let's say you just started seeing a guy and you like him a lot, except when you see each other, he spends a lot of time on his phone or maybe he plays video games instead of hanging out with you. Now, the wrong way to deal with that would be to get upset every time he pulls out his phone and start saying things like, "Oh my God, why are you ignoring me? You always pay attention to your stupid phone. Who are you texting that's more important than me?" While it's fair for you to be upset that he's not giving you much attention when you see each other, getting angry and ridiculing him will make him defensive and pull away from you. Instead, you should approach it as an issue that you want to work together on and emphasize how much you enjoy spending quality time with him. A better example to handle it would be like, "I love it when we hang out, but I feel our phones take quality time away from us. Could we have a no phones rule?" "I've noticed that you spend a lot of time on your phone when we hang out, and it sometimes makes me feel like I'm being ignored. Is there something we could do to have more quality time with each other?" When you phrase your criticism in a way that is productive and requires his participation, he'll be more open to hearing you out and working with you. This will also show him that you're someone of high quality yourself, since you won't settle for dismissive behavior, but you can also bring it up in a respectful manner. Having open and respectful communication is ideal, but it can be a difficult or scary thing to manage sometimes. So stay tuned for my video on how to communicate effectively with your significant other. Next, bring something to the table, ideally food. Relationships are a give and take. You give your time, affection, and energy, and you should also expect him to do the same. One great thing you can contribute to your relationship is food. If you're dating a guy who's an amazing cook and loves to do it, then you probably don't have to worry about that too much. But the famous proverb, "a way to a man's heart is through his stomach," does have some truth to it. In fact, when my husband and I were dating, that was a little trick I would use to keep him coming back. He's paleo, so I learned how to bake paleo breads, cookies, and other treats. And every time Thursday or Friday rolled around, I would text him a picture of whatever it is I made that week. Even before we got serious, he had the option to go to a bar and maybe not pick up a random girl, or he could hang out with a girl he already knew and enjoyed spending time with, and he would get fed. When you have options like that, it's a pretty easy decision. Now, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying women should slave away in the kitchen like a 50s housewife. Absolutely not. If you hate cooking, find something else that you know he enjoys. Food is generally an easy one though, because everyone needs to eat, and cooking is a pretty valuable life skill. However, the main point to take away is to think of something that you can offer that you know he would be interested in and that shows you've put thought into what he cares about. That way, if he's debating between hanging out with you or doing something else, you'll make it as easy a choice as possible. Now, I want you to remember that during this process, you can't force feelings. Sometimes one of the most difficult things to admit in dating and in relationships is that you're involved with an autonomous individual who has a mind of their own. This means that sometimes they disagree with you, or they don't always act the way you want them to, or don't share or express the same feelings as you. This can be frustrating to deal with since we as humans generally like things to go our way, and we like to feel like we have control over the things around us. However, you can't force someone to like you more than they actually do. The best relationships are the ones that grow organically, where two people genuinely enjoy spending time with one another and growing together. You won't achieve an organic relationship if you push a guy into being your boyfriend. While it is possible to coax or manipulate someone in a relationship, it'll only cause more harm than good in the end. You want to date someone who you're really attracted to and who's equally attracted to you. And the best way to find someone like that is by being the best that you can be. being honest with yourself and others, and appreciating the process of meeting new people. Sooner or later, you'll find yourself bumping into someone who turns out to be a perfect match. One last tip that I think is useful in getting better at attracting and dating guys is to gain insight on the way they think. I mentioned Mark Manson earlier, and I would definitely recommend picking up a book or two on dating for men. I'll add their links in the description too. You don't necessarily have to agree with everything that men's dating coaches advise, but I do think men's dating books and lessons can provide an interesting perspective on the experience of men. And of course, the better you understand men, the easier it'll be to attract them. This concludes a few of my tips on how to make a guy like you. Is there anyone who you're interested in right now? What do you find to be the most challenging? Leave a comment below and please like, subscribe, and share.